Hey everyone, and welcome to episode 117 of the Toonami Escape Podcast. I'm Greg Zeno. Tonight we have B-Dubs,
Hello.
C-Kohler,
Hey guys.
and Individual One.
Oh shit.
What's going on? I'm Chug from the other podcast, I guess.
That's not who Individual One is.
Who is Individual One?
I don't know.
Individual One, who recently became the President of the United States.
Wait, what?
I think I missed the reference.
It was funny because it was from the court filings. It's like Cohen helped Individual One, who since became President of the United States, and it's like you didn't type in the name and then said became the president. It's like that Black Jeopardy like category.
I mean, maybe it was like
Black presidents.
Maybe Cohen has a secret link to Jimmy Carter also.
Yeah, we're dealing with very ancient crimes involving Jimmy Carter's peanut farm. You motherfuckers made me give up my peanut farm.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Anyway, Toonami!
Oh, you don't want to just talk about politics this entire episode?
Oh, God,
no, we haven't gotten to checks. No show currently about politics on the block, so.
Oh, good.
Yes, there is.
Real, Hunter?
No, that's not.
Titan.
Oh, Attack on
God
Titan.
Damn it! I actually forgot to watch that one, but I do remember what happens.
Anyway, how are you guys doing?
Okay.
Yeah, I'm all right.
I've been watching the old Tenchi stuff for some reason. I don't know why, but I've kind of gone back and like the OVA is like hot garbage now because they did a continuation and it's basically the same tier as like GXP. Like it starts off really good from like the stuff in the 90s and then it sort of gets to the stuff where they change Ryoko's VA and then it's turned into hot garbage. And which sort of retroactively puts Tenchi Universe above it, but that's okay because it's got two different movies for that continuity anyway, and everything's in its own fucking continuity, and it's all massively confusing.
I don't know. I feel like GXP just soured me on that entire property.
I've never watched any Tenchi outside of GXP, and I think I'm fine.
No, like Universe is actually not that bad.
Yeah, I've heard most of it's okay.
Yeah, like Universe is good, and so is the first movie and the third movie that are sort of continuations of that one.
Yeah, the first movie is really good.
Is Tenchi a thing that people only give a shit about because it was on old Toonami?
No, it's like it's
not
not
like one of
actually
those-
that
No, that's
bad.
Outlaw Star.
It's one of those like foundational anime.
Yeah.
Get into anime because they saw it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like-
but I mean, is it even that? Is it literally? That's what I mean. Was it actually like a big thing in Japan, and then?
Well, I mean, it
think
was
so.
enough that they had like 4 or 5 different series
there's
running
a bunch
concurrently.
of spin-offs for that, so I would assume
Yeah.
it's pretty big in Japan.
Also, what I did notice is that I think the reason they have like 12 different continuities for this like one property is like each director has a different vision of what the hell is going on. Like the OVA guy is like, no, this is just a generic harem show. And then the TV guy is like, no, this is, Tenchi's just hanging out and, the girls are fighting the two main girls are fighting a cold war over him where they both kind of like him, but they hate each other more.
I don't think it actually invented the harem, but I associate. Well, no, what I'm getting at though is I kind of associate Tenchi as being like the one that was like kind of made the harem a thing. I'm sure there's been other series, but
I mean, like the modern harem is kind of like based on Love Hina because like you can basically trace all of the weird like things from all the shitty harem shows back to that one show. But it's just this weird thing where it's like everyone has a different view of exactly what this series is supposed to look like that's worked on it. And as a result, there's like 12 different versions of it, and there's probably a version for every different kind of person.
Like it's okay. Do you know I actually own a laser disc of Tenchi.
A laser disc.
Yes. When I was in high school, there was like a little bookstore in my town that would like the only place in town you could get like anime, and they had like weird stuff. They sell books and records and CDs and DVDs and stuff, and they had like a couple of like random anime DVDs, and I was one of them.
It was a laser disc.
It was on Laserdisc. I bought it on Laserdisc. Yeah,
that is old.
I have never even seen
a laser disc.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen one in the wild before.
The cool thing about them though is that they come like a record would come.
Yeah.
But they come in these awesome like packages that open up, and there's all this artwork all over it. And what Pioneer did was when they released their shows like Tenchi on Laserdisc, it was just the Japanese one. It was literally verbatim, just the Japanese Laserdisc, all in Japanese, and then they would like put a piece of paper with the same artwork and stuff over the top of it that it was in English, that you could like flip up and see the Japanese, and then down it was in English. It was very cool.
And
the other killer feature of Laserdisc was this was before DVD, so you had both English and Japanese languages
on the same thing. Yeah. I mean, I always really liked how records were, packaged and whatnot. Because, like, what was it? I got the final David Bowie album on, like a vinyl thing. Just
I have one too.
Because it was like it's the last one, and it's like you're never gonna do another one, so might as well splurge on it. I got like I dug my folks' old record player out of the closet, and I took it, and like it's really like the packaging on these things is fantastic. It's like
Black Star looks real nice.
Oh, it's like you put it under a black light. Oh my god!
It just says Black Star.
No, it does all this crazy stuff, and it's kind of like standard for records is like they'll have the crazy artwork, and then they'll have the track listing and just a bunch of crazy photography and artwork and stuff everywhere, and it's so much better than like the DVDs and the Blu-ray stuff. But at the same time, it's a little bit more expensive, and it's kind of like, well, that's why.
You gotta be real careful with it.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's very fragile as well, but I mean, just the artwork and stuff is like absolutely worth it. It's like half the reason I was considering that, that really expensive Cowboy Bebop thing, because, they had the vinyl record there. I'm like, that's going to have really nice packaging. I just know it. But I couldn't afford it, so.
You know what I am somehow watching for the first time is Neon Genesis Evangelion.
You've never seen that before?
I've also never seen that show.
It's like one of the only like classic anime air quotes that I have never watched.
I'll be honest, I've seen like half of it and I never finished it.
I mean, I'm going to be completely honest. I don't think it's like I'm not sure it lives up to the hype.
The problem is that also it's like getting it in good quality legally, basically impossible.
Oh, yeah, it's number one.
Yeah, I mean, like, I am in no way advocating piracy when I say this, but, good luck affording a decent quality version of that show.
I actually don't mind Shinji, but I hate Asuka.
See, I don't mind her as much, but I don't like Shinji.
Yeah, I feel like it's either one of the two.
Yeah, I mean, they're both really not great, but at this, like, you can, I get the point of each character, but at the same time, it's kind of like they're both not great.
I think Shinji actually improves a little bit when Asuka shows up.
Yeah,
because he gets
sort of
less
kick in the
scared
pants
and more just annoyed of her.
Yeah, like it's a nice kick in the pants that his character needs. Like, I kind of get what Asuka's problems are, though, because, like, when you find out the backstory, you're like, yeah, that would fuck anyone up.
You haven't quite gotten there yet, but yeah.
Yeah, not surprisingly, I'm super millennial. I've not seen a whole bunch of classic anime, so.
I mean, it's just this weird thing where it's like, it's
Watch
sort of, it starts off really cool, but then, like, it ends in this way that you have to watch the second movie, and if you don't, none of the ending makes any sense whatsoever.
Yeah, I heard
You have to watch
25
it.
and 26 are nuts.
Yeah, I mean, basically, I think the order that it has to be watched in is sort of 1 to 24, and then most of the way through the second movie, then the last 2 episodes, then the end of the second movie.
Or just watch the new ones, I guess. I don't know.
The new ones kind of fix it, apparently.
It's almost as complicated as trying to watch the Monogatari series.
Well, apparently the third one got weird, so maybe it didn't fix it.
I mean, the first 2 kind of followed along the storyline sort of almost basically.
Are we talking about the new movies?
Yeah.
I thought we were talking about End of Evangelion.
Well, we were.
Oh, no, that was a mess. That was just like, I mean, there was the masturbation scene, and I'm like, nope. But, apparently the new ones follow along very closely, but, diverge a little bit, and then the third shows up, and it's like this huge, massive diversion with like a 10-year time skip or some bullshit.
Yeah, it's like we're off that one's supposed to be off in like a completely another direction. Like, it doesn't feel like the original series at that point.
Yeah.
And, I don't know, we don't have a fourth one yet, and this guy has not such a great track record at ending stuff coherently, so I guess we'll see.
Yeah.
I recently gave up on my attempted, like, basically I had gathered a bit of backlog on stuff that I, old, the results of the GAF anime of the year threads that all I wanted to watch, and I had like, all right, between keeping up with stuff coming out at the time and watching backlog, here's what I'm going to do. And that recently collapsed completely because fuck that. I had been forcing my way through like a certain magical index, which sucks.
Oh God, why would you do that? That's garbage.
Somehow, second season got like in
Worse.
there. In the first year they did it. Anyway, it's a show that sucks. But everything in that show is insufferable.
Yeah, no, I tried reading the manga when it was coming out, and I'm like, no, this is hot garbage. I can't do this.
Like every line of dialogue is like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah, pretty much. And, I mean, apparently the main character has the exact same power as Asta, so it's like, what the fuck? It's basically like Black Clover, only before.
But hey, I think the next thing on my list is Working, so that should maybe go a lot better.
I haven't seen that.
I mean, I've seen a bit. It seems fine.
I thought you meant the concept of work for a second.
No, I'm talking about the show Working with either 1, 2, 3 exclamation points, depending on the season you're watching, because that's fucking insufferable too.
Oh, Jesus Christ. That's a really frustrating way to organize something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Meanwhile, there's actual, like, interesting stuff that never gets a second season.
Yeah.
Like, I would, like, if they announced, like, Spice and Wolf Season 3 tomorrow, I'd, like, cryogenically freeze myself to ensure that, I wouldn't die between now and when it came out.
Colo's over here like, where's Land of the Lustrous Season 2?
We need Season 2 of Dimension W.
No, we don't.
I mean, they burned through, like, 4 or 5 volumes in, like, 3 episodes. That was fucked up.
Alternatively, the fuck is a Dimension W?
I don't know anymore.
I couldn't tell you what happened in that show.
No one could, because they burned through like 7 volumes in 4 episodes. It was insane.
Anyway, Toonami.
Yeah.
Let's get into the block then. How about, because there's no news, I believe.
Wait, hang on. There was
Let's predict that the episode of Attack on Titan next week was going to be a rerun.
Oh, we knew that already because they had said that they were doubling up, and one of them was going to be the first episode again.
All right, okay. we didn't know that. We didn't pay enough attention.
Actually, I didn't know that, and I'm on the show.
I'm like, that's news to me.
Well, I looked closer and maybe didn't tell anyone.
Okay, that works. Also, isn't Alternative starting next week, or is that the week after?
No, the week after.
They're doubling up on Alternative.
Okay.
On Attack on Titan is because Progressive just ended. And then
and they need another week.
Yeah, next week, the week after this upcoming week is Labor Day Marathon.
Right. Okay, so it's the week after next week. Okay.
So it's
they're just burning a slot.
Yeah.
So wait, what again?
Oh, go ahead.
Chug.
Okay. I'll go.
Oh, so sorry. What marathon are we getting next week?
My Hero Academia, the entire first season.
Okay, cool.
Oh, that's what I was going to ask? Is like, are they going to like get it so that it ends on the season 2, or is it just the first season?
I think they said it's the entire first season.
Yeah,
that would make
work
sense
out,
with the
I
amount of
think.
slots we have. Holy shit, they have 13 slots now.
Yeah, we're all the way back to like the 6.5 hour mega thing.
Yeah, except our block is not
Except
in the same place.
except it used to be like 3 hours of new stuff and 3 hours of reruns. Now it's like 4.5 hours of new stuff.
Yeah, this is
Yeah.
kind of why I roll my eyes at anyone every time I hear someone whining about how the block is dying or whatever.
Look at
Yeah,
these ratings.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm like, it's
this
okay,
is some of
guys.
the best like block lineup we've ever had.
In
It's
fact,
all
this
like
one,
Yeah.
almost.
and it's premieres of like the biggest shit you could have right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah, like unless I guess we're still missing Mob Psycho, but other than that, it's not a huge deal.
Anyway, shall we get into My Hero Academia?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right.
My Hero Academia, episode 15, Roaring Sports Festival. All right, so in this episode, there are other classes in this school.
Yeah, this
I'm
was interesting.
shocked.
So there's not just the hero course. There's also what's called general studies. Then there's a support course, I guess for people who want to just support the heroes.
Support is for the people who build like the gadgets.
Okay. And then there's also the business course, which I'm assuming is just like administrative. But I don't know.
You know, heroes basically run their own small businesses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I thought it was interesting out of all of those, though, like the general courses, they kind of explained that apparently if you don't get into the hero course, you can still attend as general studies. And we are introduced to this new character with blue hair. I can't remember his name, but anyway,
His name is Shinso. And by the way, this is another great like My Hero currently airing on Toonami, also like synergizing with current manga in an excellent way.
Okay. Well, he goes and gives a little exposition explaining that during the sports festival, if the judges like one of the general study students really well, like if they perform really well at this at the sports festival, they can actually take the place of someone in the hero program and just kick them out of the hero program, and they get their spot.
Oh, so, like that's actually gonna happen?
Who knows?
That kid's real tall. Yeah, I do think that's interesting. It just kind of shows like even if you fail or you have like a bad day during this robot test or whatever, you aren't just completely screwed. Like you can still become a hero. Like that's not just your only chance. Like you don't just have to like not go to this school because of that.
I also think like the general studies stuff isn't even, you don't have to get into the hero course specifically to get, that's like the hero fast track basically.
Yeah.
Like, you think a general studies student can be a professional hero?
I don't see why not. I don't know. I'm assuming this is not based off anything. I don't actually know.
No. But I can see where you're going though. It kind of makes sense because yeah, I don't know.
If you limited hero applications to like only the people who were in the specific hero courses of all the schools, you would not have enough probably.
Yeah. The other thing I thought about too is that when they were talking about this is that I was thinking immediately, incorrectly, that how are these other courses going to compete with the heroes? But then I kind of remembered, oh wait, like 80% of the population has a quirk. And yeah, maybe their quirks aren't going to be as great, but most of these, even the people in the business will probably have quirks. So
yeah, I mean, everyone's probably got something.
Yeah, most of them do. So
it probably is kind of I would assume it's kind of slid in the favor of the heroes, but like you still have room for the other kids to make a name for themselves.
We will also see in the next episode that the support classes, basically like the gadget classes, they can bring in their gadgets.
Okay. Oh, that's cheap as hell.
Well, Well,
yeah. What's the business course gonna do?
The business course basically just kind of loses in the first round and then sits around talking about business the whole rest of the time.
Oh god.
Yeah, they're fun.
You could also consider them the marketing people.
Yeah.
So yeah, Bakugo is Bakugo has read how to make friends and influence people, and he's only here to do none of those things.
I do like Bakugo referring to those characters as extras.
Yeah, that was kind of meta, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Literally every single one of them except Shinso does not have a name.
Wait, the guy with like the crazy eyes doesn't have a name?
Okay, except him.
Okay. Yeah, that guy too.
They were showing him a lot. I kind of figured he was important. So yeah, apparently Japan's favorite My Hero Academia character.
Oh yeah, no, Japan loves that kid.
He loves Bakugo, the asshole. Yeah. Jeez.
I mean, I think he's fairly highly ranked in America, if not number one there too.
Didn't we, I believe, like give top spot one year to like Froppy?
Probably.
I don't know, probably, but yeah, I don't know. I like Bakugo here.
I mean, I should be clear. It's not like I don't like him. I mean, it's like Seda keeps coming on here to this podcast and saying this. He's like, I can like a character if they're an asshole, you know. And I get that. Like he's enjoyable to watch do his shit.
Yeah, like I like him just. Oh, yep, that's very much a dumb thing to do, and that's something that's completely in character, is just to make enemies of the entire school.
I also liked that it was pointed out how, like, the difference between this behavior and previous behavior, whereas previous Bakugo would be, you know, getting up on that stage and just, like,
yelling
back, yelling.
Yeah. But, like, yeah, he's a lot... He's a little bit more laid back, and it's very matter of fact. Like, yeah, I'm gonna win this.
So he's like focused. He's like serious now. He's not like he's not caught up in himself. He's like focusing.
Yeah.
Also in this episode, Prince Zuko is out to capture the Avatar.
I'm shocked.
Man, that animation when he froze those robots, damn, it looked really good.
Yeah.
Like you can tell the animation's already getting better.
Yeah, it's definitely improved in this season. I've heard the production was a lot better in this season also.
It was, you can tell.
Like, I think they had like 5 or 6 episodes done before this even went on air.
Yep.
Which is nuts.
Smart. On it, like, why doesn't the entire rest of the industry?
Because the anime industry is insane.
And
learned that anything involving anime and manga is just a machine designed to just eat artists.
I guess the good thing about this show, though, is that at least they have the sense to do seasons, so they're not trying to churn out an episode every week.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like I wish One Piece would do that because the anime would be so much better.
Yeah.
Oh, man. If anything needs the Kai treatment, it's One Piece.
Yeah. Rat Baby did something almost cool in this episode, but it doesn't matter because he's still Rat Baby.
Oh, yeah. I enjoyed his moment here, actually. I was like, that was kind of neat.
Yeah, it is interesting to see him actually do something successful.
Yeah. Well, successful, air quotes.
Yeah, until a robot
didn't work out for him too well.
Yeah. Rat Baby is in physical pain, and I am happy.
I really liked the montage sequence because it was showing like every character like training their particular quirk, except for him, where he was just pretending to have won.
Oh, the win, yeah.
He sucks.
Oh, yeah.
What else is new?
Was there anything else from this episode? Oh, yeah. The R-rated hero, Midnight.
She has like a literal like whip in her hand or something.
Yeah, she's the BDSM hero, I guess.
Everyone needs one of those.
Yeah, you know, why not?
What's her quirk? I guess we'll find out.
She's an M.
Later.
Okay.
Or an S? Wait,
I'm really curious to find out.
She's probably an S.
No, that's exactly wrong.
I can't remember. Oh, she's wait, but wouldn't an M not have the whip?
Hey, don't look at me like I know what these.
I don't know.
I don't know.
To know what these letters mean, actually.
Like, I think S is S is sadist, M is masochist. I know this because I had to learn it for a stupid band thing.
A what?
It came up in a report, and I had to do Google. Don't ask.
All right.
Okay. I won't.
Mountain Lady, Kamui Woods, and Death Arms were in this episode too.
Oh yeah.
I'm extremely impressed that you remember that guy's name was.
I know. I couldn't remember it either. I was like, oh yeah, that guy.
That guy does not matter.
Yeah, I really like how apparently the heroes from the first episode just hang out with each other.
They become kind of like
where's that dude that was a firefighter?
Oh, his name was Backdraft, I think.
Backdraft. Yeah, I don't think we've seen Backdraft since that first episode.
I can't tell if that's an actual name from the show or just a G.I. Joe.
It could be both. Maybe it's a Transformer.
All three of them.
Yeah, and a movie.
Yeah.
In fact, who's the hero we've seen who's closest?
Ooh.
To a Transformer.
Closest to a Transformer. That is a good
question. Wise.
The lady that makes stuff out of her skin.
No, like naming wise.
In terms of like hero name, which is weird because we haven't gotten any of the class hero names yet. So
yeah.
I mean, it's Backdraft. It's got to be. I'm sure there's a Transformer called Backdraft.
Yeah, I mean that just sounds like Starscream.
It does. Let me look up Backdraft.
Like, what is he? Is he a fire truck? Because I would not be surprised.
Yep, there is a Backdraft Transformer.
I think I'm pulling this from the recesses of my childhood.
Yep, P50. I'm looking at it right now. P503 Backdraft Search and Rescue.
Yep, it is.
He's a fire truck.
I knew it.
Well, I guess we know what this episode's title and picture are.
Okay.
Backdraft and the fire truck.
Well, we got a long episode ahead of us. Who knows? We'll see. But
yeah,
so far, I'll write it down.
I mean, there is that Hunter x Hunter thing later on.
Yeah. Anything else about My Hero Academia?
I like that it's at the beginning of the block.
Yep.
Yeah. I'm a little bit bummed because my favorite super opening's about to start, and I was getting real tired of this first one and really wanted to see that second one get the full opening every week.
Yeah.
And I don't really care about My Hero Academia's openings, but whatever.
Yeah, they're all perfectly adequate.
I've actually liked the season 3 My Hero Academia openings, but I do not care about the second ones at all.
I mean, that first one has a great song and great visuals that go like shit together, so.
Yeah. I don't know, that first one on season 3 grew on me.
I like the song in that one a lot.
Yeah.
Like, it's like both pieces of the whole work are excellent in a vacuum, and then you put them together, and it's like, you clearly decided one of the... You clearly changed one of these things right before the end.
It's like the animation was made for a different song.
It's like, here's the big awesome... Like, everyone's like... People love the hit where it's like, I keep my ideals, and they love the animation hit where All Might drops out of the sky. It wouldn't be great if those things actually matched.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I don't really care about the My Hero Academia openings. But
I'm really looking forward to seeing this super opening you guys have been raving about. So.
Oh, it's actually really good.
Yeah. Get ready for a lot of fly punching.
I guess it's going to be cut, so I'll hopefully somebody will post a link to the full one.
Well, you'll see it one time in full.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. They do that. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, it's definitely worth it.
Hey, speaking of Super, Dragon Ball Super. Dragon Ball Super, Episode 76, Conquer the Terrifying Foes. Krillin's fighting spirit rebounds. In this episode, Krillin spends the entire time cowering from giant naked men.
Oh, and Bulma.
There's a lot of naked Nappa in this, huh?
Well, he's not naked, but he's basically just wearing a Speedo.
Yeah. I really like the 4 villains they kind of chose to focus on here because it's the 3 that killed him plus the one that turned him into stone.
Yeah.
And I don't know, the entire time they were showing those, I was like, I wonder if they're going to throw that boar in there because I feel like getting turned into stone's a pretty traumatic experience. And they did. So I was like, all right, cool.
And also it's like, oh god, I remembered when I had that hairdo.
Yeah.
Cut all this shit off now.
Terrible. Nope, not dealing with that.
So yeah, they have the key to defeating these guys is to control your energy better, I guess.
I thought it'd be like maybe don't be afraid of them, but I don't know.
I don't know. I think that's like part of it. I think it's like Krillin can't control his energy properly because he's afraid, and Goku's like just way too excited to be fighting strong guys.
Yeah, like Goku. Yeah, I do like how it's kind of playing on both their weaknesses a little bit, even though it's more Krillin focused.
Right. Because it's like they both have this problem where they get like way too emotional. Or it's like Vegeta's got this problem, he doesn't get emotional enough.
Vegeta doesn't get emotional enough? That's not what I would say about a Vegeta.
Well, I mean, it's like, remember Vegeta... when he fought Beerus and it was like, he got his ass handed to him, then Beerus smacked Bulma a little bit, and then he went like, super mode and fucked Beerus' shit up for a little bit.
I think his because Whis kind of brings this up, but Vegeta's issue is that he thinks too much in his fights. Like he thinks things through, so he can't react quick enough.
Right. Like Goku's like completely sort of emotional, and he acts,
impulsively.
Yeah. Whereas Vegeta's sort of the opposite. Like he tries too hard to remain focused and cold and think everything through.
Yeah. Man, it was real fucked up when Master Roshi's just showing Android 18, her husband, just cowering in fear.
Like, that's cold-blooded.
Yeah, like, damn, dude.
Congratulations, Krillin, you succeeded in my training. Bad news, though, you're divorced. Thanks for the weed, though.
Oh, yeah, that was what he was looking for. He was looking for his stash.
Yeah, man, he needed that. I'm glad everyone else had the same thought when he brought all the plants over there.
The fucking rainbow weed.
Yeah.
Master Roshi needs his good kush.
Well, I don't know. He started eating it, and I was like, I don't know if that's how I would consume it personally. But...
I mean, he's into edibles. What do you want? He's an old guy. You got to take care of his lungs.
He had to hide it in the Northern California forests.
Well, it's too bad those burned down.
That's why he had them get it.
Yeah, that's true. I do think it's interesting that, I don't know, there's some fun Krillin Goku stuff here. I think it's kind of what I took from it is just like Krillin's going through all this dramatic stuff and like he thinks like everyone else is going through it with him too, but Goku actually doesn't think it's that traumatic. Goku doesn't give a shit.
Well, Goku's died like what, twice?
Goku has died. Like,
honestly, Goku's deaths weren't exactly traumatic. It was he sacrificed himself twice.
Yeah. I mean, it wasn't like, he got done in or anything. He's the one that chose to go. Krillin's the one who didn't have any choice in the matter.
Yeah, Krillin blew up, got turned into chocolate, and just got his neck snapped by Piccolo's henchman.
Yeah.
I love that his first death was literally just Tambourine jumping on, like literally the Mario stomp.
Yeah.
Like all you needed was the sound effect in there and it would have been perfect. Broken neck.
Yep, we're all done. But yeah, this episode looked like shit.
Yeah. Some of those Frieza faces were odd.
I bet we won't be seeing much of him for the rest of the show, though.
Oh, you.
Oh, you.
Well, here's my question. Did Krillin actually get stronger, or did nothing change?
No, he's actually a little bit stronger.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, he learned energy control, which I'm sure will help. But yeah, I think this was more like it solidified his resolve to train more.
Yeah. I mean, plus it kind of gave him that little bit of boost because he was always kind of like this strong little dude. I mean, not like, Goku strong, but, like strong enough. It's just, he's like, oh, I just have to focus more, and maybe I won't die next time.
Yeah. These, I don't know. I like these slice of life super episodes.
Yeah, they're the best ones.
They do a lot for characters, which is cool.
Mm-hmm. Good news. There are literally none of them left.
Yep, I know. We're done with them for the rest of the show.
No. There's like the next stretch of episodes at the start of the arc are kind of slice of lifey.
Yeah,
and
there's a little bit of downtime stuff in these.
Yeah, and it's kind of like the best stretch of episodes in the arc, I think, in terms of like actual storytelling.
Yep. Unless your name is Tien.
Poor Tien.
Anyway, shall we talk about Attack on Titan making its grand return?
What? Yeah, totally.
Yeah, let's do that.
Attack on Titan, episode 38, Smoke Signal. Oh man, guys, I can't remember for another hype Attack on Titan OP in the style of all the other Attack on Titan OPs. Right, guys? Right.
Yeah. It's all right. I mean, like, yes, you're right. It's like, it kind of blindsides you because you're like, what is this?
Yeah, I don't think it's terrible.
Agreed. I think it's actually pretty good. It's just not what you expect.
I've literally seen people that tried to make the argument that this season is bad because the opening is bad.
Oh, God,
I'm just like, oh, cool the fuck down.
That is the reaction. That is the reaction of a guy who only watches anime when he sees something pop up on Netflix.
Yeah.
I've actually seen somebody say that this opening is very representative of the story we're going to get in this season. So it probably fits.
It's just that Attack on Titan has cultivated it has such a defined...
Notorious opening.
Yeah.
Not even notorious. That first opening is really good.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. I don't mean it in a negative way. I just mean
all those openings are good.
I said notorious, but I think I meant to say, like, infamous.
That's also means bad.
Famous.
Does it? Okay. I thought it meant just popular. Okay, whatever.
Or, I don't know, memed.
It's just had such a well-defined style that suddenly this comes in and it's like, Attack on Titan plays while I play unfitting music.
Do you remember when they had the Attack on Coke thing?
What?
Like back when that first opening was everywhere and they had like all the parodies of it just floating around.
Oh, right, yeah.
Man, we are way past those days.
Yep.
It's kind of sad watching this show's popularity decline when I think like I don't know.
I mean, it deserves it though.
Yeah, but I feel like the
second season deserved to be as popular, if not more, than
I feel
the
like
first.
The quality of the show has improved.
Yeah, agreed.
The popularity has gone down, and that confuses me.
It's because of the span. Like, it's unfortunately, it's like a double-edged sword because they are right to wait and not do. Again, it's like the One Piece problem. Don't do a weekly show. Break it up into seasons, then each season can really be focused and like well made. But the problem is I think they just have been waiting too long between the seasons.
The problem is
season 2 and season 3's gap hasn't been too bad, but
it wasn't. No,
1 and 2 was insane.
I think that's what killed it more than anything.
When you think about 1 and 2, the gap between 1 and 2 literally being like your entire college career.
Yeah,
you were in college when the first show came out. It makes a lot more sense.
Yeah.
But I think that regardless of how much it lost viewership, I think it paid off because the quality was so much better.
This episode is actually pretty good, too.
Agreed.
Oh, man, they fixed the pacing problems.
Hooray!
So much.
Hooray!
Someone had to.
Yeah.
As a person who read the manga basically only up through the events of season 2, I kind of was a little bit lost on this episode because it feels like there was like an OVA somewhere in between the two that actually did contain a bunch of actual plot that I missed.
No.
I think that's really cool about this though, because like most shows would give you some kind of a recap or something, and this doesn't. This is like you're straight in right where we left off.
Yeah.
It's not really where it left off though. Because
season 2 was like we just got Eren back, and now we're in this field with all the Titans. And we're hiding from the government in a cabin for some reason.
Yeah, there's like been a time skip, but my point is that like we don't get like an episode and a half of like, remember what happened last season? It's just we're like right into the story.
Yeah,
Levi's not writing a letter to Erwin like, here's everything that happened last season.
Like when My Hero Academia like literally just did that.
As you know, all these events occurred last season. You really should know because you got an arm chopped off.
Yeah. As you know, that is my favorite line to hear a character say.
And here's probably the best praise I could give this episode is that I didn't mind Aaron.
Oh yeah, I don't know. Aaron seems kind of chilled out here.
There's no Titans around to scream at, so
yeah. I mean, this season he's going to be a little bit better because there's no Titans around.
Also, because apparently he just spends most of the entire first half with like a gag in his mouth, so that's great.
Oh yeah, no, he's not allowed to go outside because like everyone and their grandmother is after him now.
Yeah,
but it's this kind of weird thing where it's like this season is basically the what if humans were the real monsters all along? You know,
I was kind of down. I was kind of like making fun of it because that's just such a ridiculous, obvious, like, oh shit, I need to do some more stuff with this show thing to do.
Yeah.
But actually, Kenny's pretty intimidating.
Betrayed by their own country.
I mean, it's just this weird thing where it's like, I remember when I was
Walking Dead.
Yeah, but I remember when I was reading it at the time, I was kind of like, man, just get to the basement already.
Yeah, I remember that too, but I don't know. I'm kind of
like like this season's, sort of events with Kenny and all that. Like when I was going through it, it felt a lot like filler. Like the author hadn't decided what's in the basement yet, and he needed to stretch it out.
Yeah.
But I guess this is actually going to end up being like the setup for what is actually in the basement.
Oh, this has nothing to do with what's in the basement.
Okay, fuck this then.
Well, okay, here was my thing. I stopped reading around this arc and then came back and read it again when the manga was much further ahead.
Yeah.
And I didn't hate this arc when I had it in that format.
Okay.
Yeah, reading tankobons is actually generally the better way to read stuff.
Yeah.
Right.
It just takes so long for them to come out. I can't wait.
Yeah, I know. But I mean, I will say I'm not huge on, a lot of what this arc does, but I do also like a lot of what it does. I think the main problems in the manga, in the story for me, sort of happen after the basement. Like, I actually really do like the basement revelations. It's just that the direction it goes after is kind of like...
questionable.
Yeah.
On multiple levels.
That's the word I would use.
Yeah, we'll cross that bridge when we
get there.
Yeah.
We'll enter that basement when we come to it.
Yep.
Well, more like we'll exit the basement when we come to it, but...
I feel like you can honestly describe the fall in popularity of Attack on Titan by just being like, nowadays if you say, did they get to the basement yet? Nobody's going to know what the fuck that means.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just been one of those things where I think the author just kept teasing the basement for way too long because this was a monthly series, mind you. So we can get like a chapter every month and it'd be like, really? We're not getting to the basement for another year and a half? Are you kidding me?
Another 3 years.
Yeah. Like, it was the most ridiculous shit ever, but I think the timing of this season, if the pacing is the way I think it's going to be, we're going to hit the basement at the very end.
And, yeah, I don't know. I've been watching along with the sub version this time. I didn't do this for season 2, but I'm on episode 5, and I am surprised by how far into this arc we are. So
really?
Yeah, like...
Could we even get to, past the basement, like the post-basement flashback thing?
Oh, God, I hate that part.
We possibly could. Because, I don't know, we've been moving pretty quickly.
I don't know, I think I'd rather not get to the post-basement flashback, if only because I couldn't originally tell if it was a flashback or not.
All right. You can, you want me to tell you what part they get to? Or do you guys just want to see for yourselves?
No, I don't want to know.
I mean, you can tell me
I don't
later.
even know what you guys are talking about. You're like talking about stuff that's way in the future.
The mysterious events of yesteryear. Yeah. Anyway,
all right, we'll talk about the actual episode a little bit more. Yeah. Okay, so the Hanji stuff is kind of neat.
Oh yeah, she's great.
I really like what they're doing with her character.
I cannot believe that guard bought that.
I think he didn't completely buy it.
No.
But I don't know what he can do about it.
That was just such bad acting, Hanji, man.
Like, what is that dude gonna do? Just try to like kill these dudes? Like that's not gonna work. But I don't know. All that's neat. She's a really fun character, a lot better than the other crazy scientist character she voices on this block. And
is it actually the same person voicing the two?
I think so.
Oh God.
Typecasting.
Yeah. Yep. And yeah, I don't know. It was I enjoyed the intrigue here. Kenny is terrifying when he shows up.
Also, like, and speaking of like of intrigue, like I was glued. Like the whole episode was like, even though it was like 50% people sitting at a table talking, it was very engaging to watch.
Yeah, I would agree on that. It's just there's a lot of crazy shit happening right now.
Mm-hmm.
I like Sasha continuing to be on her bread bullshit. What did you just put in your bag? Bread. Something that definitely isn't not bread. Definitely is not bread.
Yeah.
God damn it! Stop stealing my bread.
What did you guys think of that scene where Aaron failed to turn into a Titan and they rip him off and he's like missing his face?
Oh God. That's terrifying.
And also when the loser Titan, he's basically just dangling out of the back of its neck. Like, this looks so stupid.
Poor
Armin. His ass is hanging out.
Armin gets groped.
Yeah. Armin's not having a good time.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that scene. Oh. Some drunk perv guy's trying to feel him up.
I like that entire last scene with Levi basically realizing, oh shit, come on. Like, he's like, why did they do that? And it's like, because the actual plan is to get you now.
Okay, I actually have a little bit of a problem with, I feel like Levi makes kind of a big leap there. Because that guy goes from, who else would hire amateurs to Kenny real quick. And I'm like, there's no one else in this kingdom that would maybe hire amateurs? Just Kenny?
It's weird that they hired amateurs for this job. Have you heard of Kenny the Ripper? He's killed like 5 million people.
Yeah. I'm just like, I don't know, man. Like, it doesn't really... I don't have too much of an issue with it because it's not like it saves them or anything. Like, it still ends up with everybody getting shot in the damn face. But it was just like, all right, that's an interesting conclusion to come to based on that information.
So I guess it turns out it's not the government.
Yeah. Well, I think it's implied that the government hired them.
Yeah, I get the impression that Kenny's like a hired thug.
Yeah.
I hear next episode has some crazy good animation.
Oh,
nice.
Man, yeah. The opening for that thing is crazy looking.
Sounds great.
Yeah, no, this season has not been disappointing in the animation department, I'll say that.
Oh, we didn't get an ending on this episode either, because they do like a special where like the plot keeps going while the credits are on that screen.
The ending for the show sounds more like the opening.
The ending for the show actually is the band that did the previous openings.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah, so that's where the crazy song is. Yeah, again, I don't mind the opening. It's not what you would imagine Attack on Titan would be, but I think it's fine.
I need my Tyrannosaurus Rex running across
the
landscape.
Yeah. What was up with the fish one, man? Like, that's not a thing the show gets into.
Yeah, that opening is really good, except for that.
No, I love that part just because it just doesn't make any damn sense.
It's so stupid looking too.
It's the most Attack on Titan thing.
You see stuff from openings and you're like, oh, that's probably foreshadowing. Like, no, I just thought it looked cool.
It's a metaphor.
Yeah.
Also, yeah, Connie brought up the Beast Titan, and I remembered that the Beast Titan is a thing.
Oh.
And I was like, how could I possibly forget the fucking Beast Titan?
I actually really like that Connie has character motivation now.
That's good.
Yeah.
Just about all of the characters are interesting. I mean, like, in one way or another.
We've killed off the ones that either didn't have anything going on or were so secretive because they were actually a villain.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're just left with these guys.
Anyway, you guys want to talk about Pop Team Epic?
Okay.
No.
Pop Team Epic, Episode 8, The Dragon of Itabashi, Pee-Pee's Revenge. In this episode, really ridiculous Yakuza movies.
Yay.
So basically just the Yakuza video games.
Pretty much.
No more YouTubing.
Yeah, you can't be YouTubing, man.
The Yakuza is supplementing its income by becoming influencers.
There's no Pop Team cooking in this episode, and I want a refund.
Nope. I agree.
Those are the best segments of this damn show.
I just love the opening.
No.
Pop Team
Girl-
cooking.
Girl Drop is the best segments of this show.
Mm-hmm.
Girl Drop is underrated or overrated.
Lies.
Those are fighting words.
Look at
fight
the
you on
animation on that crap.
It's
That
so
is-
good.
That is seasonal shit.
That is fine. It's good.
Susanoo best girl. Come on.
Goddamn right she is.
Papa
It looks good in a screenshot, which makes it good animation.
It looks good in the gifable form.
Anyway, let's talk about Johnny Young Bosch.
Okay.
Johnny Young Bosch is a great
it
person.
took me a little bit to realize that was him.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, I mean, I heard it right away, and then I would say too, give that man an Emmy.
Oh yeah. He really did a bit of yelling there.
Yeah, he was going all in. They also did a lot of I love when they do this. I don't know if this is a trend or what, but when they'll do the second half with the male voice actors, they'll do a lot more improvisation and adding of extra dialogue and stuff. And there was that scene where Johnny Young Bosch is just talking to himself in the coffin.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I don't know. So my only thing about this show is I've kind of gotten a little bit down on the second half of the episodes recently, just because it's all right, I don't feel like they change enough to warrant watching the entire episode again.
Yeah.
I don't hate it, but I find myself kind of tuning out a bit more.
That's fair enough.
I'm enjoying the show way more than I thought I would going into it.
Oh yeah, totally. I'm with you there. I kind of was ready to write it off as just unforgettable.
Yeah.
But it's actually kind of memorable in weird ways.
I don't know. There was that one week where it was the last episode of Fooly Cooley Progressive came on, and I was like, you know what? Pop Team Epic was easily better than Fooly Cooley that week. I enjoyed my time with that way more, and I just have not really wrote it off since then. So yeah, I don't know. I had some laughs. I enjoyed this episode.
We don't have any sake to swear our bonds on, so let's suck on this lemon.
It's sour.
I don't remember a lot of the individual skits from this one, though.
That's all I remember.
There was that weird sand art thing at the end.
Oh, that was neat looking.
Yeah, that was another one where it's man, the work that went into this.
Yeah, why did you do so much work for this fucking show?
And they're just over there that's the joke.
Yeah. I remember, I think it was last week, they had the Japanese subtitles on the French segments of the English subtitles. And just because of this show, I could not tell if that was supposed to be the joke or not.
Was it actually an accident or not? I can't.
I think it was an accident.
Okay.
It's hard to tell, though.
But I wasn't sure.
Was not sure.
Yeah.
You can never tell. Oh, we didn't talk about the Band-Aid. Johnny Young Bosch getting very, very mad at a Band-Aid.
I mean, wouldn't you?
I can't even remember it. It's so crazy. Anyway.
Yeah, that's the unfortunate part about this show is just it's so quick during the skits that even if you kind of enjoy it, it's really easy to forget.
Pop Team Epic. I can't even remember it anyway. It was so crazy.
Yeah. It just
I
kind
think
of
I had
washes
fun.
over you. Yeah, I think I did too.
Anyway, let's move on to JoJo.
Okay.
JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Diamond is Unbreakable. Episode 1. Jotaro Kujo! Exclamation point. Meets Josuke Higashikata.
Yeah, something like that.
Higashikata. They pronounce it a lot like Higashikata really fast in the anime, so I'm going to go with that. Anyway, in this episode, Duwang. It's a nice, peaceful little town. We meet Gunglai Kurt. It can't do that anymore. Anyway, this is the part with the infamous Duwang translation that was kind of hilariously like. So
does it make sense?
The funny thing is, like, it doesn't make sense, but in like a grammatical way. And then the Part 5 translation that was around for years also doesn't make sense. Like, makes perfect grammatical sense, but sucks even more.
I don't like. Are these just people that aren't? I don't understand how like shitty grammatical fan translations exist. Like, are these people that just don't understand English? Really?
I believe both parts were like, it was like translated into English by way of another language that was not Japanese.
Yeah.
Well,
still, like,
it's more than that. Because like, I listen to the One Piece podcast, and they have on there every week the guy who translates One Piece, and he always has stuff to talk about every week in the manga about like where he has to make a judgment call, and it's like I'm always thinking the same thing too. I'm like, well, how hard can it be? Don't you know what the word is? And what he always says is that in Japanese, lots of symbols, lots of hiragana, katakana, and whatever, they can have lots of different meanings.
Oh yeah,
and it's hard to figure out which one they're using.
Case in point, Josuke.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Apparently, the symbol for Suke can also just be read as Joe, so it ends up being Jojo Higashikata.
Is that that's the Viz translations, right, of One Piece?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's that guy's name? Steven?
Yeah.
I think it is Steven. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's,
I remember hearing about him a lot.
Yeah, it's one of those interesting things where the language, the written language, like each character has its own like meaning, and then when you put them next to another character, the meaning completely changes, but the old meaning stays. So it's like people will take the name, like make a name based on not only sound but look.
Right.
So it's like, whereas we only have like, I don't know, I'm looking at something and it says something like it's phonetic. For them, it's not only phonetic, it's visual too.
But I don't know. I guess what I'm getting at is like if you make a fan translation and you read it through after you're done and you're like, well, this doesn't make any sense. Wouldn't you like try to word that differently then?
So the Duwang translation was not made by a native English speaker.
Okay, that makes sense. So they just didn't know.
It was translated. It was first translated into Chinese from Japanese, and then translated into English for like a university assignment, which was
okay.
By the way,
it's the worst case scenario, basically.
Of course it was. Well, yeah.
I believe the Part 5 translation had something similar going on.
That doesn't surprise me at all.
Well, luckily, we are watching the
English
broadcast, the broadcast premiere of the English dub of this show, and it's completely comprehensible.
I will say that Viz did a better job here than most fan translations of the manga, yes.
travel back in time to 2011 and say 7 years watching Diamond is Unbreakable on English television. Absolutely unfathomable.
They've done like a pretty good job like catching up. Like we're like unfortunately, well, not really unfortunately, but part 5 is about to start, so it's gonna immediately get behind again. But I'm like, wow, good job, Viz.
Yeah,
getting that shit out here.
Hey, depending on if they want to try to do that like really fast work, they could. It's not impossible that they could go straight into part 5 if they get it out fast enough.
Yeah, that's true. I would not mind seeing that.
I mean, I think the plan is it goes straight from part 4 to part 5 on Toonami, so, you know.
So, as far as the episode goes, I'm not going to go into too much details. You guys can do that if you like, but I just wanted to say, like, the vibe I got, I'm really digging it. Like, I don't know what it is. I can't put my finger on it, but maybe it's because it's kind of giving me like a Persona 4 kind of small town vibe.
You don't say.
Well, yeah. Well, anyway, my point is though is that like I don't get me wrong. I've liked all 3 JoJo parts we've seen so far, but this one has like a different feel to it where I feel like it's gonna feel it just. Even though I've only seen 1 episode, I can already tell it's going to be more like episodic, like more like maybe not episodic's the right word, but more like condensed. Like maybe it's because it's the opposite of the last part where it was like they're going all around the world. This just feels like it feels like it's going to be a more cohesive story, and all of the characters that have been introduced, with the exception of our last JoJo, who is the same. They're all really likable. Like this new Josuke, super likable.
Josuke is fun.
Looks like a delinquent. Completely looks like a delinquent.
Look, Knuckle, don't insult Knuckles' hair.
But it's actually like super nice and overly polite.
Yeah. Meanwhile,
his hair looks like a wet dish rag.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, his mom is completely like.
Oh, she's amazing.
She's a delinquent, but damn. She's awesome.
I do think it's a good kind of contrast here. It's like, where do you go after your crazy around the world adventure where you had to save the world? Like, let's just scale it down to just a town.
Yeah, like I do actually like the concept for this better than we're gonna travel to Egypt and all that stuff, because I don't think it can be as episodic as it was before. Yeah. As a result of that, like it already feels like shit. Like we've already been introduced to the main villain of the arc, and he's already making his move against, the new JoJo, and everything's sort of starting to come together. It's like the complaints I had about last arc with Dio not being around except for like the final 4 episodes is kind of going away really fast. Almost like, the writer realized, oh, wait, I can't just do that when the bad guy isn't Dio, so I have to, introduce them and do something with them earlier.
Well...
yeah. We'll let that play out a little bit.
Yeah.
This episode actually starts with the cold open of like, somebody's making breakfast. Oh, no, It's a hand.
Yeah. I do think...
What the fuck was that? I mean, do we ever learn, or is that just make you go, what?
Remember
next time on JoJo's Bizarre Adventure?
Okay, because I have to say, that was really cool. Like a really cool way to start the episode. It's all happy and cheering, and listening to the radio, and they're making the breakfast, and then suddenly the camera just pulls back like 3 inches, and you see there's just a decapitated hand on the table. And it's like, what the hell?
That is an anime edition.
That being said, you will definitely get like way more of this villain than you did Dio, but he's not as present as you might hope. But
I mean, I don't expect him to be like Naraku, showing up like every 5 goddamn minutes.
I don't know. I really like how the show looks. It's very pastel-y.
Right.
The sky is yellow.
Yeah, like
and all the buildings are like pink and blue and stuff.
All the buildings are extremely American.
Yeah.
It's kind of this, like, it gives it this weird vibe. Like, the last couple of seasons have their backgrounds have been very sort of realistic, whereas this one is extremely stylized to almost an absurd extent. Like, it kind of feels like Twin Peaks just looking at it.
You don't say.
You don't say.
Well, I mean, yeah, like you said, like there was a lot of like almost American influences in this first episode. Like you're just even the breakfast they're making in the opening scene, and the houses and the streets.
The milkman.
It looks it looks like an American town, even though it's set in Japan.
Yeah, like it feels like small town America type thing.
It's kind of out in the plains. It's kind of like that town that's like 25, 30 miles away from a major city, but it's still far enough away that you kind of wouldn't know it was even anywhere close.
Yeah. Like, it's very much like, I feel like this series is going to be kind of like one of those locked door murder type things.
It feels a lot like Onett. It feels a lot.
That's a good comparison.
It feels very Earthboundy.
Yeah.
That's a good analogy. Yeah.
Yeah. Jotaro's hat still makes no fucking sense.
It makes even less sense now that it's white.
Oh,
yeah.
I think Jotaro has. I think he's kind of interesting because he's kind of drawn. He's drawn in the style that everyone else is drawn in, so he has less muscle mass here.
Yeah.
Jotaro literally only gets thinner.
Yeah.
Just kind of weird, but whatever.
Marine biology, you have less chances to work out.
What the hell is that? Like, so out of left field, too.
like he doesn't train anymore. He goes marine biology.
Jotaro actually spent a lot of time in the ocean in part 3, and all that shark punching really got his.
Yeah, you know,
he's like, I could turn this into a career.
Interesting. You know, when you're punching the inside of a rock in the middle of a trench, like sometimes you're just like, I could study this for the rest of my life.
You know what? Now that you said that, I guess I can totally buy it. Why not?
Jotaro became a scientist.
Yep.
I never really got the impression that Jotaro was dumb. I think he was just a punk.
Yeah. Like, well, it doesn't seem super out of line with his character, but it definitely doesn't seem in line with it, I guess. Like,
it's enough to come out. It's enough to just be dropped and be like, wait, what? Huh? Anyway, let's talk about Joseph. He's not on screen, but man,
I don't know if I would. I think this might count as character assassination.
Yeah. I mean, they did him dirty last season, but this season is like, come on, man.
Oh, don't worry. There are a literal million Joseph stans on the internet who will be very happy to tell you how character assassinating this is. It's not really, actually.
Well, I mean, it does feel a little bit kind of like, really? Come on, bro.
Especially because we just had that moment with Holly where she was like, oh, yes, we are super in love.
I would like to point out that the affair happened before the events of Part 3.
That's somehow worse.
Yeah, like if he got back to Japan and like, oh, he's celebrating or something, like he went out and got a little too drunk, like that's okay, whatever. But so this is like
racist Joseph.
Yeah.
Went out and had an affair.
He fell in love.
I don't know. I don't remember exactly how much they get into this, but it's not a huge amount. You just kind of have to be like, of course Joseph would do that.
What, he got like super drunk one night. He's like, yeah, okay, whatever.
I don't even think it was that.
I wonder if Susie Q like reverted to her like goofy accent when she got pissed off.
That would be amazing.
The female characters in this show don't matter. Let's be real.
Come on, Part 6.
Yeah, I know. We'll get there eventually.
I mean, it just feels kind of like, really, like, if they hadn't nerfed him so hard in Part 3, it probably wouldn't be as bad.
Yeah, but I don't know. They just... I feel like the anime doesn't help for Part 3, but yeah, they just do, like, a weird amount of Joseph Susie Q stuff that I do not care about, and then all of a sudden it's just like, oh, by the way, Joseph cheated on her.
Yeah.
Like, oh, really?
Joseph cheated on a woman who was like 40, 45 years younger than him. Anyway, Jotaro is here to deliver to kind of get the inheritance all sorted out because Joseph is actually, it's been about
80.
It's been about 11 years, about a decade since Part 3 ended in universe, and so Joseph is now really old.
Yeah.
Well, it's also he's there because Joseph gave him those photographs of like some kind of murderer.
Yeah,
yeah, like shit's going down.
This murderer is in the town and mysterious photographs.
Yeah.
This murderer is a super bad dude.
Like I feel like they could have gotten away with just having the murder photograph thing and not have it be like, oh yeah, he's actually secretly Joseph's kid, Like maybe they could have gotten away with that.
Well, I don't know. Like I was going to say maybe they need, because he has to have a stand.
They need to immediately introduce danger.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of which, Josuke's stand, I'm sure we're going to learn more about it, but like it's really interesting that it's like a punch ghost, but it like heals you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Seems like I don't really know what to make of that other than to think that like feels like there's possibilities here for this to be used in interesting ways. I don't know.
Yeah, there are.
Yeah, I think
possibilities for Crazy Diamond than
Star Platinum. Star Platinum, which is it can punch and move fast, and then later time travel.
Yeah. Yeah, this seems more like not wacky's the right word, but this seems more bizarre. That it's like, oh, it's got this weird effect. It's not just punching you; it's doing something interesting.
Araki has once again figured out how stands are working.
Yeah. Maybe we'll get less bullshitty powers this time.
We've also got Koichi, who's voiced by Zach Aguilar, in a complete departure from his Genos voice.
Yeah, I liked him here. I am one of the people that doesn't mind Genos in One Punch Man, though.
Yeah,
He's not too bad.
He was fine.
I think the kind of robotic, stiff nature of his voices works for Genos.
Anyway, I guess this is maybe a more natural voice for Zach.
Yeah, I would assume so, but yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, he sounds likable enough.
I have very little complaints about the voice acting so far. I had very little complaints about it in Part 3 also, though. So,
everyone.
Josuke sounds exactly like Josuke.
We should go back to the bad accents, though. Wouldn't Polnareff have been better if he was talking in a really bad French accent the entire show?
Wouldn't Avdol have been way better if he had a super extremely racist Middle Eastern accent?
Yeah, totally. We really should have done that.
What if Dio was still extremely British?
Yes.
Oh, honestly, I liked British Dio. Don't even. I kind of did like British Dio.
Italian Bryce Papenbrook.
That was not good, but
or whatever the hell Susie Q was trying to be.
I don't know what she was trying to be.
Interestingly, Koichi does not have a stand, yet he's hanging around all these stand dudes, and he's like, what the fuck?
And he's acting like he's the main character.
I know. Yeah. Koichi is the main character. What are you talking about?
He starts off with the personal narration, and it's like, my entire life changed that day I met these two other dudes. I'm not the main character, though.
Even though it feels like it.
Josuke is very scared of turtles.
Yep. I don't know what to say about that, apparently.
I mean, that's weird, but, good for him. Araki figured out that, you need to give your protagonist a weakness. And
throw a turtle at him.
Yeah, I don't think he thought that one through all the way.
There's some fun moments here where Josuke, the turtle gets out of the pond again, and Josuke just kind of jumps.
I love him freaking out over it, but at the same time, I'm kind of like, it feels like it's going way too much in the opposite direction of Jotaro.
I don't know. I think I like it. The thing that just throws me is that I kept thinking he was going to be like Jotaro and be like a punk because of the way he looks.
Yeah,
it's so like
he's
what?
Not.
He's not. He's like such a like a sweetheart basically. Just a real nice kid. He's like, yes, sir.
I also even the cops in this town wear American cop uniforms.
Well, yeah. They're like universal.
Oh,
Yeah.
and then that guy who made fun of Josuke's mom, and then the cop guy comes up on the bike and he's like, "That's my daughter."
Oh,
I'm,
yeah.
Bye.
I'm
Ring,
about, you're getting off on a warning here, buddy.
You fucked up big time.
How was Japan's healthcare in 1999?
Pretty good.
I don't know.
She did a lot of damage to that car.
Yeah,
that,
she's pretty.
like headbutt thing.
She's hella strong.
Yeah.
I don't think she cares. I think she's just like whatever.
Yeah,
don't
I
give
don't
a
think she cares
fuck.
either, but man.
So let's talk about this
I don't know if that's
Angelo
gonna
dude.
bump out.
This Angelo dude is kind of portrayed as like recent Joker portrayals where like the Joker can't like get up in the morning and go eat breakfast without like murdering 75 people.
Yeah, you know, you just gotta snap
It
and
happens.
fuck up some dude and his girlfriend.
At the age of 12.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean,
Convicted of rape at the age of 12.
Yeah, that wasn't necessary.
I don't know if it was either, yeah.
Speaking of extremely
No.
not necessary, next episode with this guy.
Oh boy.
Oh.
going after his mom.
Yeah, this guy, I love that this guy is just running around in a milkman outfit. Like, hello, I am a milkman.
Lucky Land milk. What is Lucky Land?
It's a location you jump to in Fortnite.
Let me look it up.
Like I mean, you see it all the time, but it never is mentioned like in the
Lucky
actual
Land
story.
Communications refers to Hirohiko Araki's personal manga studio and company, from which he and his assistants worked on
there we go.
JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
Got it.
There you go. Anyway, I'm so excited we're finally on part 4. I love this part.
Oh yeah, no, this is probably I haven't read part 7, but this is probably my favorite part of the
I have read a lot of part 7. It's the other one that comes even kind of close. Anyway.
Yeah. So yep, no, this is a fun part. I'm excited to watch it. I have not seen the anime for this.
It's very good.
Well, no, I take that back. I watched the first 4 episodes, and then it got announced as coming to Toonami, and I was like, God damn it!
I
I
gotta
just
wait.
recently started on it and somehow did not expect this.
Yeah, but I don't know. I didn't just because of like it going from JoJo into part 3 took a while, so I just assumed it'd be the same deal here. And no,
Nah, they love them some JoJo.
I guess they do. I'm okay with that.
Let's talk about Hunter x Hunter. Hunter x Hunter episode 108, Gungi of Komugi. In this episode, Poof is extremely extra.
Yo,
So
Poof is great here.
I recently had a thought. This is no offense to Kerbifer, but what if this had been Johnny Young Bosch?
Mm.
Ooh, that would have been cool. Yeah, I don't know. I liked him here though.
Yeah, Poof is having like a mental breakdown over this whole.
I really like how he just starts stress violin playing.
Like Sherlock Holmes, like full Sherlock Holmes. I have to violin right now.
Like he's frustrated, he wants to murder, but instead he's going to murder his violin.
Yeah, they're doing some real interesting shit with the king here.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, they made him like Tsundere.
Well, like not even that, but like the king is like actively learning from Komugi at this point.
Yeah,
like
I mean,
he
it's cool.
sees her as kind of like a teacher almost.
Yeah, it's cool. I definitely am enjoying it. Like I'm enjoying this like revelation he's having, and then like the inner monologues he's having in his head about like what am I doing and all this stuff. Although I have to say, it's freaking super telegraphed what's going on. I mean, it's obvious he's like falling in love with this girl.
Oh yeah,
His heart grew 2 sizes that day.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you have to remember why the king left the nest in the first place, because like they do sort of telegraph what the king's goals are going to be really close to the beginning of the arc, because like they go into like how the Chimera ants act, and it's like the drone ants, they work for the queen, and the queen eventually births the king, who then goes off to another place to form their own colony and then find a mate to start the whole thing all over again.
No, I don't remember that.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, I just brought it up because I was like, even though it is kind of obvious where the story seems to be going here with his like having like he as a character who's been portrayed up to this point of being completely having
Hitler?
Zero care for anything. He's now suddenly getting emotions about like, oh wait, I care about something. And I love the way that in this episode they're going to great lengths to make him be like, I don't understand this. Like he doesn't understand or can't process the idea that he might care about her.
Like he's literally walking down the hall like, this is it. I'm done with this shit. She's dead. She's a splatter. And then he opens the door and the immortal words of the OGB, goddamn bird, stay away from my precious cinnamon roll.
I don't know that reference.
It's just people describe stuff as cinnamon rolls if it's like, I want to love and protect this.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, if it's like super adorable.
Yeah.
Speaking of cinnamon rolls, I recently just started playing Mass Effect.
God.
Oh boy.
Anyway.
Yeah, I always really like how they developed the king in this arc. Like, it's kind of obvious where it goes, but at the same time, it never quite goes entirely how you would expect it to go.
Yeah. It's just really interesting watching this character who's just been, up to this point, just no emotions, just thinks that might is the correct way to go, and just all of a sudden realizing there's more to life than just that. Like, it's...
Right.
I don't know. It's weird watching. It's like basically watching an animal develop human emotions.
Yeah. It's kind of like he went from, I will crush humanity beneath my feet, to, there might be humans worth saving.
Yeah. It's also fun watching him try to come to that conclusion or look like he's going in that direction just to be all, oh, I'm actually just incredible.
And then to completely reverse that all over again.
And every time he says anything out loud about it, Poof's just over there like,
yeah.
Poof is dying inside.
Like, Poof is either going to kill himself by the end of the arc watching the king change, or just have like an orgasm over the king wanting to kill all humans.
One or the two.
Yeah.
Poof just rips off his mask, and it's like, surprise, it's Hisoka.
Well, Poof and the cat girl, they seem to have, at least now, at this point, have a bit of characterization. This red guy, though, just seems completely wasted.
He's our bruiser.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he's just the muscle of the team. Like, he does get some interesting characterization later on, but it's not like...
Right now, he walks around saying, I pick things up and put them down.
Yeah, pretty much. Like, he doesn't get too much more complicated, but he does get to the point where it's like, I kind of like this guy. If he wasn't, a homicidal maniac.
I'll also say I don't think Poof was super interesting until this episode.
Agreed. Yeah, he was kind of... It took until now until he had something going on.
P2's also been kind of in a rut lately where she's mostly just kind of cute cat faces.
But I never get tired of that, though.
Yeah, it's just like the face of death, this adorable murder machine. Just like an actual cat.
Yeah. But she really wants to go off and be a murder machine. But she can't because she's the guard. Like, if she doesn't hang around, who's going to guard the king?
And it also seems to me that she definitely, of the three, has, like, the most brains.
Yeah, I think so.
She's a super genius.
Also, I guess Gon does some stuff in this episode or whatever.
What did he do? I forgot.
I don't know. They just talked about, like, maybe this Gon.
I feel like they literally just got all in a group to be like, okay, now we're all here, so we can all restate the plan together.
Right,
dude, that octopus dude is the shit. Like,
I love him. He's awesome.
Is he a candidate for best dressed?
Oh, he might be.
Oh, he is best dressed.
He was naked in this episode, though.
Yeah.
But when he has his thug outfit on, it is pretty styling.
Yeah, I'm going to. I'm giving a strong nod to him and Leo.
Yeah. I mean, I think Octopus Guy is probably best dressed, if only because Jotaro only wears, like, school uniforms, and Josuke also only wears school uniforms.
Josuke's school uniform is also really good.
It's really good, but it's still a school uniform.
Yeah.
Like, he's not like Joseph looking like, a freaking supermodel or something.
Just a little bit of like accounting with part 4. I hope that the episodes we get this year work out perfectly so that one group of episodes is entirely next year. Just for the sake of like award stuff.
Oh, yeah, so that they can actually win.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically.
I don't know, but because
part 4 is already in a weird thing where it's probably I don't know if it's like gonna be like hamstrung for best show because like
Hunter's gonna end.
It's Hunter.
Yeah, Hunter is looking. It might take hours again.
Yeah, I think if it keeps going the way it is, it's probably gonna wind up stealing the show.
Yeah.
But yeah, they restated the plan. What's his face is still completely like beyond shook.
They don't even show Nove anymore. He's just like, I'm on the opposite end of the world.
Yeah, he's like hiding out in his secret mansion.
Yeah,
thing.
Nove dipped. I do not blame him.
Like, he saw that shit up close, and now they're worried about what's her name? I actually forgot her name.
Palm.
Yeah.
She's
they're
dead.
Worried about. Yeah, no, she's screwed, but they don't know that.
Like the previous episode ends with her getting attacked, being enveloped by P2's N, and then this episode none of them mention it.
Well, I mean, they don't know that she got enveloped by P2's N.
No, I'm talking about even the ants.
Oh yeah, no, they like. What do they care, They're
just like, something got in the palace and then died.
Yeah. I mean, the king is more concerned with his Gungi.
Yeah.
Like that's all he wants to do. Like, day in, day out, he wants to play with Gungi with his girlfriend.
Has anyone made that like a real game?
Games are hard.
I think it would be too complicated.
Anyway, we've been calling her Komugi this entire time, but she actually hasn't been named until this episode.
Right.
There you go.
Well, you guys have been saying the name of the king for a while now, and I don't think he's been named yet either.
No, the queen named him right after he was born, but before she died. But he doesn't know what his name is.
Oh, that's something we kind of forget to mention this episode. The name thing was hilarious.
Yeah, the king is like, "What's your name, girl?" And it's like, "Oh, I'm Komugi. What's your name?" And he's like, "I don't have a name."
This revelation shocks him to the core.
Yeah, he's like, "Wait, what? I can't tell my girlfriend my name because I don't have one?"
I don't really get that scene. Like, he's like so like freaked out by this, but what is it freaking him out about? I don't get it. Previously every humans are just prey, so what even matter? Names, what even matters? Just another thing to eat.
So I feel like now that he's forming a personal relationship with someone for the first time ever, he realized he doesn't have this thing
that they have.
He's thinking like, wait, I don't have a name. Does that make me inferior?
No, I think it's more like she shared her name with me. I asked because I cared, enough to show find out what her name is, and she told me, and then she asked mine, so she obviously cares, but I can't tell her. Is that like, does that make her think I don't care about her now?
Okay, how I kind of looked at it is this is kind of like the king becoming more human. Yeah. And names are a very human thing to have.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like all the ants, after a while, they were like, oh, we should have names.
Yeah.
And the king is sort of reaching that point right now.
Okay.
Yeah, where it's just like this individuality thing that he doesn't really have yet.
I can't remember if the royal guards ever call each other by their names or not.
I don't think they do.
I think they did this episode actually.
Yeah.
Oh.
I suddenly realized that should they be calling themselves by names?
I think that either they were calling themselves this or the king was calling them this because they were using the shorthand versions, like they were saying P2.
Yeah, or poof.
Like the queen gave them names and then they introduced themselves to the king and he was like, "Oh, who gives a shit what you're called?"
Yeah.
I only care that you're the one who didn't die when I smacked you.
Yeah, pretty much. But it's just this thing. It's like, man, he is shook. And the worst part is there's only like one person in the world that knows his name, and he's on the other side of the world.
Who is that person? I forget.
Colt.
Oh, yeah, Colt.
Unless he told...
They're not on the other side of the world. They're in the next country over.
Well, yeah, they're like a country or two over. But, unless
I don't think knows that Colt knows.
No, he doesn't. But, you know, it's going to be interesting. Did Colt tell anyone his name?
Maybe.
Because that's like the one piece of information someone else has that the king would want.
The king's name is the One Piece.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
But that's not the friends we made along the way.
That's not the hat.
Wrong. That's spoilers.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Anything else about Hunter x Hunter?
The show's good.
This show is very good.
Yeah. I think they're going to start the invasion soon, but we haven't seen the chairman in a while.
The chairman is, like they said, the chairman is literally there to, first they go in and separate the royal guards, and then the chairman jumps in and is like, all right, motherfucker.
Then he fights the king, but has he just been on the mountain for like the entire month?
Yes.
I forgot he was in this arc.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, he's just been hanging out up on that mountain, like scaring every living thing half to death.
He is reverse Dio.
Yeah, pretty much.
And this arc is about waiting for the ultimate hero to show up at the end.
Yeah.
Could you say they're waiting for Goku?
Oh.
He does look like he's going Super Saiyan up there.
Yeah, I mean, he's charging something up, and it's looking pretty badass. Like, he's scaring the birds. Even Killua took one look at it. He's like, nope, not dealing with that. That's not my problem.
Anyway, shall we get on to our end of the night death march?
All right. So before we get into this, I'm going to apologize. I was on this podcast right before we got Black Clover, and I made the case for this show maybe not being so bad. That was wrong.
that was a mistake.
Sucks.
Black Clover, episode 35, The Light of Judgment. In this episode, the animation's actually kind of good.
Yeah. Yeah, in the first half, the animation was really good. Kind of like to a level where I was like, why?
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't bad. And I think Yami is probably the best character in this show by like a country mile.
The most tolerable.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I mean, like, I don't completely hate him. Like, I still don't like him, but it's like, compared to everyone else, I'm like, yeah, if he was the main character, I'd probably watch this.
Chris Sabat is now playing him as if he's just actually Zorro.
Yeah.
In the world of Black Clover and just going with it.
Yeah.
He's even got the katana.
Yeah. But yeah, no, this episode looks real nice. I've said this many a time, but
yeah,
you always know it's nice looking animation when the rubble starts looking like squares.
Yeah.
I will say that I was shocked that they actually remembered that mirrors reflect light.
Oh yeah, I know. I was just like, that'd be convenient, and then they actually went for it, and I was surprised that the show did something competent.
Yeah, I'm like, oh wow, they actually did the obvious thing here.
Yeah,
it's like, we had the guy whose one extremely specific power counteracts completely this other dude's extremely overpowered ability.
Yeah,
yeah.
It's like, all right,
well, that works. Like, I had honestly completely forgotten he was even in this arc. Like, I thought this was a different arc, and I'm like, because I missed an episode. And I was like,
forgot that this arc started out about basically.
Yeah, this arc. Yeah, kids and Mr. Satan and gone to kidnapping kids.
Yeah, and like I completely forgot about all of that shit because none of that is like remotely pertinent to what's going on.
Like the only constant has been Asta.
Yeah,
it started out as the loyalty mission for the creepy guy who is way too into his sister, but now like here's a super bad guy.
Yeah, and here's Yami. It's like, all right then.
Yeah, it was like, okay, this is a different arc then. And then it's like, oh, wait, he's still around. And like, they cut to him. I'm like, you know what would be smart? They're kind of written into a corner here as if he showed back up. And then it's like, oh, yay, there he is.
And then they, like, reveal he has the Sharingan.
He had that previously.
Oh, yeah, he's had that.
Oh, did he? Okay, I didn't notice it before.
It looks dumb, and I've come to the conclusion that I think there has not been a good-looking, like, aesthetically eye power at all in manga or anime ever.
I don't know. I think the not the Sharingan, but the Byakugan is not.
Yeah.
It's not horrible.
Yeah. The veins are so creepy.
Yeah, but I mean that's the point.
Yeah,
I feel like that's kind of the point, though.
Like, it makes Neji look menacing as hell when he's kind of
a
little bit of a villain there.
Yeah, like I feel like it's this sort of thing that it's like it's almost like a body horror ability because you can see through somebody's skin. So it's like, yeah, okay, like body horror ability gets to look a little creepy and whatnot.
It's the most well thought out of them all.
Yeah.
It also doesn't go from. I don't understand the Sharingan. That I started off as being able to copy someone's shit.
I'll also say the first Sharingan also looks kind of cool. It looks okay.
Yeah, it's fine for a little bit until it just gets stupid.
I mean,
it turns into black fire creating for some reason.
Yeah,
it gives you a stand. I don't know.
Yeah, like when it's just, oh, I can read my opponent's moves like a few seconds ahead of where they make them. It's like, yeah, okay, that's pretty good. It's not too overpowered. You can surpass that.
And it's also like we've had to create this entire sense of mysticism based on, like, no, I copy everything you do.
Yeah.
Like, people are like, well, the Sharingan lets you do anything. And it's like, actually...
No, I just see what you do before you do it.
And then actually it does do everything.
Yeah, then it can, like, make reality into dreams.
Yeah. I don't... Oh, God.
Somehow.
Some crazy fucking...
Oh, Donzo.
I can make reality into dreams.
No, he makes his dreams into reality.
I should use this power every single time. I should not even try to dodge these arrows.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, dude, you're getting a little bit sloppy here, but I think we're getting ahead of ourselves.
He's got like... okay, I'll save that for the Naruto discussion because like the frame of time made like no sense. It's like 1 minute is like 5 minutes, and then 1 minute is like 10 seconds, and it's like, wait, what?
Anyway, back to Black Clover. The show still sucks, though.
No, it's not great. I mean, I didn't.
Yeah, it's not good.
But
this was a okay episode in a show that is barely watchable.
Yeah, Black Clover. I feel like its high point is just like around the tolerable tier.
Yeah, which is not good.
Yeah,
it's kind of like I would like this show better if it was dumber, almost.
How can it be dumber?
If it was more fairy tale.
Well, I mean, like if it was more like GXP was dumb as bricks, but at least it was like, you didn't know if somebody had slipped you a Mickey or something.
I don't know, man. That show went for 26 episodes.
It did, but at the same time, there were parts where we were like, am I on drugs?
Yeah.
Is that really just the same dude copied and pasted over and over again?
Exactly.
Why did they brand penises on them?
I don't know. Like, it made no sense whatsoever, and that made it better.
I don't
know if I would say better.
Not better. It made it worse.
Yeah.
But it was... I still liked it more.
I like how, like, every time we talk about Black Clover, we can't talk about it. We just talk about other shows.
Because nothing
what are we gonna
happened.
say? I mean, like...
Here's a statement about Black Clover. Licht is a boring, shitty, dumb villain.
Well, no shit.
Yeah.
He's dead. I mean, what is it? He lasted one fight and now he's dead.
It feels like his entire, they were like, he speaks very slowly and deliberately, and that makes him a good villain.
Yeah.
Also, he's like, don't touch my friends! And it's like, why do you care?
Yeah.
Because I do!
It would have been better if he's like, only I can kill him, and then he kills him.
I'll give a random positive. I weirdly enjoyed them just kind of referring to that teleporty dude as the guy with like lines on his face or whatever.
Like I said, literally Zorro just transported into the show.
Yeah,
going with it.
Like, oh, you're Zorro. Like, all right, sure.
Yeah, that'll work.
Yeah, that's an improvement.
Like even his backstory, like Yami's backstory, is literally like post-time skip Zorro. I got on the wrong ship. I ended up in a different show.
Yeah.
But like if it's Zorro
crash landed. And,
Yami is if
magic.
Yeah, Yami is if Zorro didn't cut the ship in half when he got on the wrong one.
Yeah, you know. This is some we figured it out. This is AU One Piece, and it got it's about as good as any other fanfic.
Kuma transported him into Black Clover.
Yes.
He's got to find his other two swords. That's what his character arc is.
Do we want to talk about Naruto? We've been talking a lot about Naruto already.
Yeah, let's do it.
Naruto
Shippuden episode 215, Two Fates. This episode is mostly the exact two flashbacks we've already seen like 3 times in the last 2 episodes.
Why are they doing this?
Because they have nothing else.
Like this part isn't particularly good, but holy shit! Why are they dragging this out?
It's because they have to show that they have bonds, but they never actually built those up. So all they have is these 2 flashbacks.
You can tell they have bonds because they're standing around yelling about having bonds.
Yeah.
Yeah, this somehow has now become a show I like Black Clover better than Naruto Shippuden right now.
Wow.
Yeah.
And this is only the start of the downward slope. It gets worse. But there's a small hill on the way down that's like, oh, that's actually pretty good. I like that. And then it just craters.
To be fair, I do think most of the reason I like Black Clover more than this is just because of this. These flashbacks are unbearable.
Because Black Clover is going to end.
Yeah, that too.
Oh, wait, when is Black Clover ending?
In
it's
20...
14 more episodes or so.
I would say it has 16.
Fuck.
Yeah, probably 16.
Fuck me.
I mean, that's better than
that's better than never.
Plus.
Yeah.
That Naruto Shippuden has left.
I mean, Naruto, we're going to be going for the next 20 years.
That's better than still running, and there's even more Naruto.
Yeah, we're going to be doing this podcast, and we're going to be 60, and Naruto's still going to be going, and we're going to be this fucking thing never ends.
Yeah, it's 16 more episodes of Black Clover.
Very real possibility that Boruto ends before Naruto Shippuden.
Uh-huh.
I would say shocked. It's probably likely that it does, and that just shouldn't be a thing.
Yeah.
Imagine if we actually run both of them to their conclusion and that does happen. We're talking about the ending of Boruto before the ending of Shippuden.
It could happen.
I mean, maybe they don't want it going on forever, but maybe they do.
I still feel like at some point, Naruto Shippuden is going to be dropped.
It has to be. I mean,
I think that Gil and DeMarco don't want to admit that it could happen. I think they're just in there we're committed to this show kind of.
It's probably cheap as hell. Let's be real.
I think it does reasonably well for them.
Probably does.
I mean, it's cheap as hell. It's on one of literally the last slots of the night, and it brings in half decent numbers.
I was going to say,
unless
these episodes are. If you guys thought, if you just a little thought experiment for a second, obviously all of us, we're not into this show.
Right.
We're just not into it. Do you think that there are people out there, maybe someone even with a podcast, who likes Shippuden and talks about it regularly?
Oh,
they're probably, yeah. I mean, those people exist, but they're also insane.
Yeah. There's people that consider that will say, oh yeah, it's good as long as you skip all the filler. That's not a negative.
Yeah.
Even though this show isn't even good when it's in canon, so who cares?
Honestly, I like some of the filler arcs better.
Oh no, I will say I'm gonna say that fake part 1 filler is probably one of the high points of this show.
I just could not get into that.
It was some of the better animated stuff.
Like, oh, he's fighting a ninja ostrich.
That's an amazing concept.
What am I doing with my life?
It is much better than trying to convince me that Naruto and Sasuke care about each other.
Anyway, yes, this episode is mostly, hey, we haven't shown Sasuke leaving the village and them sharing their food with Naruto in the first test in, checks notes.
5 minutes.
It's so frustrating because, like, their whole point to show those flashbacks is to make you think that these characters have, like, bonds. But in these flashbacks, Sasuke is an asshole to them. Like, he's straight up a jerk.
Oh yeah, I know, it's amazing. It's just like, how many times do I need to see Sasuke telling Sakura she's annoying and knocking her out? Like, why would you think that's going to convince me that they care about each other?
Exactly.
No, let's show this other scene of Sasuke being a good and decent
There is none.
Yeah.
Oh.
When did Sasuke ever say thank you?
See, okay, here's the thing. I do think Kishimoto put in a little bit of legwork here. Like, I do think he did have them at least around each other enough where I could see it being a thing. But I think we've long passed the point where that's reasonable.
I mean, the thing is, like, this dynamic works with the amount of time they have together up to a point.
Yeah, we've passed that point a while ago.
Yeah.
Like when Sasuke tried to declare war on the world, like...
That was... no, I mean, honestly, Sasuke not going back to the village after killing Itachi was kind of that point, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. That is the absolute that is the point at which it was like, all right, enough of this.
Like, yeah. I can kind of see where Naruto's coming from, but it's just...
Like, they hadn't spent enough time together for him to reasonably still be this way right now.
My take on this is that, and this is stupid, but, like, I don't think Naruto and Sakura, or really any of our likable characters, can give up on Sasuke. And the only reason they don't have a character motivation for it, it's simply the author saying, my characters are good people, and so they will try to rescue this guy.
And or kill him.
Yeah, or to make him, or to change his mind, because that's what I keep saying Boruto. That's what Naruto's trying to do. He's trying to change Sasuke's mind. It's like, don't do this, don't do this.
Right.
And like any reasonable person would have been like, this guy's a bad guy now. I can't convince him. But because Naruto is our protagonist and he's a good guy, he can convince him, and he does it because he cares. But
yeah, Naruto, he can convince a villain to just bring back the entire village after he killed him. Like, he's just so good at convincing.
He can do it. No, but I mean, like, that kind of goes into my major complaint about Shippuden and everything after the time skip, is that it stopped being about Naruto driving the plot forward and started being about him just sort of reacting to everything that happens. Like, he stopped being the driving force of the story and became this reactionary character, and as a result, the series has kind of suffered to a degree.
The actual new content in this episode was mostly Sasuke being extremely evil.
Yeah.
Giving our protagonist zero reason to redeem him.
Right. And yet he's still on that train.
Yep.
And again, I'll kind of give Kishimoto this. Like, this is pretty... You can tell that he's pretty heavily influenced by Akira and kind of the Kaneda and Tetsuo relationship.
But the problem is they had a long-standing relationship already.
Well, I don't know. I would actually say that Akira doesn't do much at all.
Yeah, because it's a movie, but you actually buy that. Well, they have a long-standing relationship that I haven't seen because it's a movie.
Well, I don't know. Even in the manga, like, I feel like Kaneda leaps to I'm gonna kill Tetsuo pretty quickly.
Also, for what it's worth, Tetsuo was treated pretty bad
Yeah.
By Kaneda and the rest of the gang. He was
and like I don't know, like I think Akira works, but I will say like I don't think that relationship is super well built in, and I think Kishimoto has done better than that. I still don't think it's very well done though.
Yeah, I guess. My thing is, like I said before, there's no motivation that I've seen outside of the fact that these three were grouped together as children.
Yeah.
For them to be connected in any way outside of other than the fact that like Sakura had a high school crush or a school crush on Sasuke. Crush. That's her only motivation. And then Naruto's only motivation is that he thinks that Sasuke is cool. That Sasuke is very good at what he does. That's it. I mean, like Sasuke was never nice to Naruto. He was never nice to Sakura.
Yeah, it's really weird because there's a few moments in there, and for some reason they aren't showing them.
Those were filler.
Yeah, I guess so. But like, I remember like the moment where Sasuke, like they're like trying to talk Sasuke into giving up in the tournament, and Sasuke's just like, Naruto, you're one of the people I want to fight, and that's like when he first ever really acknowledges Naruto, and that's just a moment they decided just not to show.
Yeah, at the end of the Chunin exams, Sasuke has at least a respect for the other two. You know, basically once he sees Naruto beating Gaara, and then they needed at least one major arc between that and rescue Sasuke.
I'd say
have that dynamic actually be a thing for a while.
Yeah, I think one or two major arcs between those two sort of events would have been more than enough to make it work. It's just that they didn't do it for some reason.
Have Sasuke go with him on the Find Tsunade thing.
Yeah, I mean, maybe not that.
Let him see. Let Orochimaru kind of get the hooks in there.
Yeah.
But again,
make Sasuke rescue and care about Naruto and Sakura to their faces.
Redo Naruto from the beginning.
Yes. Because I mean, like the whole everything we've learned about Jiraiya after the time skip is kind of like, wait, why wasn't he taking care of Naruto the whole time?
Boruto's kind of what you're describing. Like redo Naruto from the beginning, even though it has all the characters and they're there. It's like, let's do the story differently.
Oh man, it is going to be real interesting seeing Boruto's interpretation of Sasuke.
Oh God!
Just straight up dropped right in the middle of this.
Yeah, like Sasuke at his fucking craziest.
Just being like, imagine how these characters get from where they are in Shippuden to here.
Yeah,
it's impossible because it doesn't work.
Make sense. Yeah. Again, like I do think Kishimoto could have, like I guess when they were trying to find Sasuke in that one arc where they went and invaded Orochimaru's base, like I can kind of buy it there.
Yeah,
but we've passed that point, and Sasuke being a laughing maniac who almost just murdered Sakura, and it's like has made his intentions clear that he wants to destroy the village and everyone they love. It's like, are you sure, guys?
He is literally evilly laughing. He is doing a laugh that you can only do with the intention of doing it evilly.
Yeah, it's just one of those things where it's like, it's gone way too far and it makes no sense anymore. And it's only going to get worse from here. I swear to God, it only gets worse from here.
Even if you wanted to go down this path, Sasuke should think he's the good guy.
Yeah. And he clearly doesn't.
Also, thankfully, Sasuke just leaves the plot for a good chunk of episodes here.
Yeah.
I don't think it helps, though.
I don't think it does either. But, oh man, the last 100 episodes of Shippuden are the fucking worst.
Well, great. We have
isn't there like
episodes to go.
Isn't there like a 200 episode like fucking filler arc?
It's not 200 episodes, but like the good majority of episodes from 400 to 500 are filler.
Yeah.
There is a weird alternate universe Naruto filler arc in there that has some of the worst animation I've ever seen in this show.
God. I honestly can't even say we'll get to that.
I hope we don't. It's bad.
Like Toonami will be canceled or the show will be dropped before then.
It's amazing. The show will go, and this was when the manga was finished. The show will go back to canon for like 3 episodes and then go into another filler arc.
Yeah, and the series was done at that point. Like, it made no sense.
Like, I was like, why are you doing this? Some of the light novel adaptations they kind of did near the end of Naruto Shippuden weren't terrible.
Okay. Well, like those I'd actually be interested in.
Yeah, like, no, those are mostly fine, but man, there's some bad filler in there.
Yeah, I imagine.
Can't wait for Boruto.
Yeah, no, Boruto is Boruto isn't bad, actually.
I mean, there is that one arc I'm really looking forward to.
Are you talking about the Kishimoto one?
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Oh, man, I remember reading that as it was coming out.
Everyone was like, please go through with this.
I know, I was like, holy shit, what are you doing?
Like, it's happening!
It was something almost on the level of, like, Aizen snapping his fingers and stopping all of Bleach and going back to his fight.
Yeah. That arc actually has like a really nice looking fight scene in it. With Sakura, of all people.
Yeah.
I'm shocked.
Anyway, anybody else have anything about Toonami this weekend?
Nope. Oh, there was a game review, I guess.
Let me go and see.
Oh yeah.
Hollow Knight.
Yeah, Hollow Knight. It was the first Switch game for the Switch.
They gave it a 9.
To play it. Yeah. That's higher than usual. They've done this. They've been doing this thing where they give every fucking game an 8.
Yeah, they must have liked it.
It makes me feel like I'm actually taking my job seriously to get everything an 8.
Yeah.
And then, Tom's like, I've been looking for something brand new to play on my Switch.
You haven't played anything on it.
Yeah, they don't do a lot of Switch reviews.
No, yeah, they don't.
But I guess we do.
I would have thought they would have done,
they did Breath of the Wild.
I forgot they did Breath of the Wild.
Because I think Breath of the Wild is what finally convinced Jason DeMarco to pick up something Nintendo related.
Did they not do Super Mario Odyssey yet?
I don't think so.
All? That's weird.
No, I don't.
Anyway, it's just funny to hear Hollow Knight described as brand new.
It's new to him, I guess.
New to him.
Hollow Knight versus Shovel Knight.
If they're real talk, Hollow Knight should be in, like, if there ever is like a full-on indie actual Smash Brothers, Hollow Knight versus Shovel Knight.
That would be awesome.
There should be a real indie Smash Brothers. Alternatively, they should just put more indie characters in Smash.
Oh, yeah.
Speaking of Smash, I really like how this game's shaping up.
Yeah.
Oh, it looks cool.
Speaking of extra, this is the most extra game of all time.
Yeah, there's a lot going on. I feel like I'm long past the point where anybody can complain about this series. Or this game, I guess.
Dude, look. The next thing people yell about is, where is Dixie Kong?
Oh, God. I forgot about Dixie Kong.
Look, Donkey Kong people have this extremely incredible, like, persecution complex, basically.
You got Diddy.
No, they can yell. No, they're going to yell about why are all of the Donkey Kong stages jungle themed?
Where is Lanky Kong?
I don't know.
Hey, what if we got all of those other Kongs in as like a Pokemon trainer trio? A real post I saw.
Oh, God.
At this point, my final, like, I really want this character, and it is conceivable, but probably isn't going to happen. Phoenix Wright.
That would be kind of cool. It's just, it's real weird to have a prosecution complex about Donkey Kong when there's series that have been in there for a while that still only have, like, one representative.
Well, it's easy that it's now that Fire Emblem has way too many people.
Oh, yeah, there's, like, 7 characters from Fire Emblem for some reason.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know Fire Emblem kind of got a, like, if you were being honest about it, it would the Fire Emblem reps would be Marth, Ike, and Robin.
Yeah. I would maybe throw Corrin.
It would be like old Fire Emblem, mid Fire Emblem, new Fire Emblem.
Yeah, but like, holy God, is there no reason for Roy?
But like Roy got in because he was in Melee, and now he's kind of untouchable.
Well, like Roy is kind of this weird thing where it's like I would have expected Lynn or like something, but no.
Hector.
Lucina's in there because they wanted more female representation, and I'm all for. Yes,
sure, yeah.
Why not Lynn though? I like her.
Lynn is really cool.
Yeah, I would have done it differently. I would have put Lynn in because she kind of has.
Lynn and Hector would have given you some interesting movesets.
Yeah. And then Korn is literally an advertisement. They literally admitted that Korn was an advertisement.
Yeah, I really like how he plays, so I'm okay with that. It wasn't Roy pretty much an advertisement in Melee?
I mean, it can't be an advertisement because nobody knew what those games were in
Melee.
I
mean, for Japan.
Yeah, maybe something like that.
Because I think Fire Emblem 6 was like right about to come out or something when that game was released over there.
But over here, since we didn't know what Fire Emblem was, it was like, who are these weird dudes with swords?
Yeah, we never got Fire Emblem 6.
Yeah.
I'm actually somewhat confident that we'll get Banjo-Kazooie. Because
but that would
Nintendo and Microsoft have kind of been like,
we're
actually kind of cool with each other because of this whole Minecraft thing and this crossplay stuff. Yeah. And it's like, hey, man, what if we had a bit of Banjo-Kazooie?
Yeah, want to just dunk on Sony some more?
Yeah.
That'll be fun.
And I also was kind of confident about Rayman.
Mm-hmm.
Because they've also been like palling around with Ubisoft, too.
I feel like Nintendo has done such a decent job at carving out its own little niche of the market that it's a little bit safer for people like Microsoft to have a better relationship with them.
Like Nintendo's been like, we're not really competing with you in the console front because, look.
Yeah, like we're doing something completely off the wall over here.
You guys are running 4K. Check this thing out. It's a small tablet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But no. Give me Phoenix Wright. I want Phoenix Wright, please.
Yeah, I don't know. I've heard something a friend told me. I don't know how true this is. Apparently, the Japanese fans, like on their forums or whatever, have been calling Ridley Captain America because they're convinced the American fan base is what got Ridley into this game.
Well, that's probably true. I mean, Japan is not a big Metroid country.
Yeah.
It would basically have to be the West.
Yeah, I don't know. We're definitely running out of characters you can complain about not being in at this point, and not to mention they brought everyone back. I don't know. I'm really cool with it.
They went and got Snake. They went and knocked on They went into the gang-infested Konami warehouse.
Like, hey, please.
Hey, can we have Snake back and also even some more people?
No, like fuck it. Who cares?
Yeah, I mean, they don't have, what's his name anymore. He left.
Yeah, Kojima's... Ironically, Kojima was the reason he got in the first place. Because Kojima was, like, calling up, like, hey, wouldn't this be crazy?
Yeah. It's really crazy that you have a Smash Bros. Game where you can use, like, Snake and Cloud and Bayonetta and...
I hope they bring back...
Pac-Man.
I hope they bring back the... codec conversations, because now they can get even more absurd.
Yes.
Like, that's fucking Bayonetta you're having a codec conversation about. You're having a codec conversation about Simon Belmont.
Yep. I really, honestly, I kind of wish we would get something similar to, like, Subspace Embassy, just because it would be really cool. Like, I didn't really care much for the gameplay, but I really like the character interactions.
I would want basically a boss rush with a bunch of like Nintendo theme, like all those bosses.
Yeah,
just put Dracula in there.
Give me some dumb story mode shit where these characters just interact, and I am more than okay with that.
Make a story reason for Chrom has to fight Dracula.
Like I really like Link and Yoshi palling around.
Snake is sneaking through Meta Knight's ship, and he meets Lucario.
Yeah, and like Ike, Marth, and Meta Knight just flying around the desert.
Fox has to fight Rayquaza.
Yeah, like and
save Diddy Kong.
Yeah, like I don't know, like some of that shit's real cool.
Ganondorf is commanding an army of Robs. Smash Brothers is dumb and amazing.
Yes, it is.
It has nothing to do with anything this podcast is about.
Nope.
It doesn't, but
there's like 7 minutes of conversation about it anyway to end this night off.
Because why not?
Anyway, that'll about do it for this episode. Thank you,
What's your guys' sign off?
Okay.
Thank you, C Caller.
No problem.
Thank you, Chug.
Nice
to have you on again. We'll see you guys. I talked over your sign off.
All right.
I'm sorry.
It wasn't that good.
We'll see you guys next week. Have a good week. Bye.